Yo, yo. How's it going, Reeds? Just chilling. Just chilling. For some reason, I don't have sound. What's up, Matt? Why I have no music? Dude, every time. It's a problem. There we go. Hockey, what's up? What'd you win? I have no idea. You've got the crown, though. Jopie, what's up? Oh no. Ta-da. Okay, let's finish this up. How you guys doing? Almost Friday for sure. Dazzo, hello. Yeah, this is it's strange. I find this stuff quite calming as well. It's pretty old school though. I mean, I don't think you have to do this very often these days. Just have to build in a certain way. Can avoid this process. But how organic this shape is that I'm going for is kind of warrants the retopoing. We're almost done though, so not too bad. How come I didn't do this in ZBrush? I feel like it's, so for me it is faster, at least for my personal speed, to do it in Modo. You're talking about, or are you talking about their retopoing tool? Because their retopoing tool I've played with a bit, and with the amount of detail and stuff that I end up doing, I usually end up losing shapes in places, which kind of sucks. Wait a minute. Oh, I see. Hey, Face Melt. Yeah, Reeds, you're in a good position now, man. Just working on composition. It's a good feeling. I think I want to cut that in. Oh man, so for all those creepers out there, my program now tells me when people join the channel. So welcome. Welcome, Devil Kill. Although it's poor to accuse you of being a creeper. Who knows? Clancy's in now. What's up, man? No, I'm the creeper. How weird. Clance. Thanks, man. Like, no, it's cool. I've got pull. So, what is it? A little bit ago, as in this morning, I started editing a video. It's not anything crazy, but it was weird editing videos. I don't do that. I just kind of post things on YouTube from the VODs, you know. Anywho, it's just, you know, the focus streams I've been doing, I just decided to record them or time-lapse them together. You were scripting some videos this morning? Nice, man. To me, this is the worst part of the retopo. When you can see the end. It's like right there. The worst. I think I'm just going to commit to that detail being quite cheap in poly count. We'll do that shape, it looks like. Mulatto, how you doing? Hang on, I'll cap that afterwards. Hello. Probably split this up a little bit. Uh-oh. Ah, see, this is why you don't hide. Gotta be careful with hiding that geo. It'll bite you in the ass. Cool, Clancy. Cool, cool. Hey, Orange. How you doing? Okay. I can hide this. That's safe to hide. I'm going to connect all this too. That's probably a good idea. Oh shit, I didn't see these. Okay, well, this complicates stuff a little bit. Love this slice tool. Look how easy it makes this. I can just do that. Don't actually need these here. Oh, wait, maybe I need these ones. Clean this up a little bit. That's fine for me. Ray. Hello. Anyone else have no sound? Make sure that your computer's not muted. That sounds completely ridiculous. Sounds like I'm making fun of you. It's totally a thing that happens more often than we would like to admit. Okay, now I can hide everything except for this. Makes it easier to work. We'll focus on this little area. Come on. Let's do that so we can get this all lined up. We'll do this. We'll hide everything. We'll just bevel this if we can. What is happening here? How come I don't have tessellation for these rocks? You mean like, you talking about adding the detail in there? I feel like the detail is small enough that I'm just gonna commit to it not having that detail. Unless you're talking about the edges actually having some loops like this. I mean, it looks like I'm going to have to because I just realized that these are here. But they don't like these don't add anything, you know? Which could be, that could pose a problem as far as like unneeded polys. Like those loops right there, I'm gonna leave them, but those loops are completely unnecessary. I would only need that tessellation if I was gonna start trying to do a real-time tessellation in the engine. Just because it'll make for a visually better tessellated mesh, if that makes sense. Hotkey that bridge. 3 and bridge. Made it for a split second there. I sounded like I was some medical like scalpel, and lift. Good job. That was really weird. Hey provider, how you doing? You providing? Okay, let's see. Oh, that is a messy one. Just gonna do that. Aha! I forgot the bottom. Bottom's not too important, but gotta make sure to at least cap it. Oh, what is going on there? That's a little better. Bottom doesn't really matter, but I get really picky about this stuff. Collier, what's up? Welcome. Welcome back. Alright, so now's the time. So we take all the edges, we make all of them soft. We crease or harden edges that break the 40-degree angle. And then we go in and we clean up. Clicking this button here will highlight all edges that got creased. I'll just go in and clean up the ones that I don't want to crease. Make them soft, then recheck. And this is just a process I go through. One good thing to know is the way to think about what edges I'm deciding to soften has everything to do with where I want the UV island borders to be. So I can just kind of go through here because I know this whole thing. Do that. Oh, I see a problem. down yonder. Dang. All right. Oh, see another one. All right, we're gonna run a quick weld just to make sure we're not getting. Yeah, there was others in there. Okay. Do this again. Hey, too much coffee? Mr. Bob, how you doing? So while I'm doing all this stuff, what do you guys want to talk about? Last time we were talking about a lot of random stuff. We got through conversations having to do with how you deal with burnout and how you try and avoid burnout. That was actually a pretty interesting conversation. Anything you guys have on your minds? These. Let's go all around that, make those all soft. These hard. How to not get discouraged when starting out? Man, that's a tough one. So hard surface retopo is interesting one. Let me get the smoothing. Actually, no, I'll just do it now because it's pretty straightforward. So I'll just make this really awkward, not perfect thing here. Do this, we'll extrude this out. Do that. We'll do this. Okay, so this is a shape, right? Just gonna add some loops and I'm going to preserve the smoothing. Do it twice. Just leave that. We'll just cap this. Gonna do the same on this side. Cap that. Okay, so we got this mesh, right? Pretty dense as far as the amount of loops going around. I would argue that depending on the size of this, you might keep that amount of density. Oh, okay. I'm gonna answer the discouraging question one. Don't get discouraged. Everyone's shitty at the beginning. I mean, you'll see me from time to time as well try and do something that I know how to do, but then I'm like, nope, I fucked that whole thing up, or it's just bad. Always getting better. You have to accept that everything that you make is, in someone's eyes, is bad. The nice thing is the people that feel like, the people that will tell you that it's bad, but then tell you why it's bad. Like they won't be discouraging in the way they say it. The other thing to not discourage yourself with is surround yourself with people. Like that's kind of why I have the Discord going. Surround yourself with people that are like-minded and all want to get better. That's probably one of the biggest things to help. Dude, I have so much art that I've just like nah, and just throw it, or lost interest, or I learned what I wanted to learn and I don't feel like finishing it, throw it that way. It's all scrap paper. Remember to recycle though. Okay, so let's look at this mesh. So we've got this mesh. It's got a bunch of loops, right? I should probably put it in a different Modo file. Okay, so we got this mesh. It's got a bunch of edges to support it. When we render it, I mean, it's pretty standard, right? When you go to shading and you go to the, this is in Modo. I know it's in Maya, but I think you have to be using Mental Ray to do it. This is one of the primary reasons I use Modo now. Just go to the base material, go to the properties of the base material, and this little thing down here. This is here because there's not enough room. If I give it more room, then it'll come up. So rounded edge width. So just start turning this up. This will be dependent based on the scale of the object in the scene. But now you can see that my mesh looks like, whoa, looks like it's gone. Mesh looks like it's high poly. It's got like bevels and like, oh, I don't like those bevels. Maybe I'll tighten it up a bit. This is called a rounded edge shader. Oh man, all Modo shaders have it. Then all I do is duplicate this. Duplicate the mesh, press N, paste it. So now I have, we'll say that this is technically my high poly. Hide that. Make sure to call it HP at least. Go to the other one, call it LP for low poly. Press M to give it a different material. Say low poly bake, just so it's not using a material with the bevel shader on it. Then you just take this guy, select every other one of these, delete them, say that's low enough, unwrap it, pack it, bake it, having it look at this high poly with the bevels on it, and you will have your hard surface-ish high poly. Hey Fear, what's going on? As the shapes get more complex, it becomes a little bit more complicated, but this approach is kind of how you would hit every beat, every process, as far as Modo pipeline goes. Does that help at all? There's a good amount of you guys in here. Yeah, that rounded edge shader that you can bake with that, which is a freaking amazing thing to behold. Matthew O, which I don't believe is in chat, one of my good buddies, an amazing artist. He does a lot of his mechs without a lot of geometry these days, and is basically building his high poly and his low poly at the same time because he's using rounded edge shaders so much. It's pretty awesome. So I'm gonna take and break it there. You can see the smoothing there is broken. That's just gonna allow me to make sure that this is its own island and this is its own island. This is gonna be its own island as well. What's going on down here? Make those soft. Soft, hard, soft. We'll break here. Decisions, decisions. Yes, Warren Marshall. Warren Marshall is the shizness. That guy's awesome. He's one of the channels I strongly suggest you follow. Soft. Yeah, that works for me. Yeah, Warren Marshall is one of those guys you need to have close by. The guy's seen stuff. He knows things. Great guy, very helpful. Bob, what are you talking about? In the game tools menu, you can pop it out from the left menu. Did someone ask a question about this tool? Yeah, it's just you go up here. Where are we at here? Game tools, and it's usually right here. You see it's blank. It's because I tore it out. I just duplicated it. Oh God. I don't need the other tool. What's up, Rave? MRave20. What's up, designer? Are you Ed? Alright, let's keep this going. We gotta get the show on the road. So I'm just going slowly up this asset and making sure that we've got all the breaks in the normals that we need. This whole thing here is going to be its own. Let's do this real quick. Grab those, make them soft, make that hard. So you can select a whole inside area, make it soft, then select all of them, and then make it hard, and it'll just harden the borders. Brave Sir Chimp, thank you for the follow. You're awesome. You're fucking awesome. Don't mind me. A little tired. Ooh, no. We have to do this. Let's go this way. Okay, so that whole area is kind of gross. I don't think there's a benefit to that crease being there. It's small. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. Turn that, we're gonna move this up here. Move this one. You hate Modo standard smoothing groups? Yeah. Kitten. What's up? Welcome. So Brave Sir Chimp asks, in the game industry, does it really matter if you only know one piece of software like Modo, Max, or Maya? One piece of software as in like modeling package software. I mean, the studio that I work at currently, this is kind of rare, but the studio that I work at currently accepts people using 3ds Max, Maya, or Modo. I think there might even be someone that uses Lightwave at our studio. Could be wrong. Hi, Serb. How you doing? You only really need to know the package that the studio is working in, the studio you want to work at. So, like, say you want to work at, well, let's say Massive. Say you want to work at Massive, and Massive uses all those. As long as you know one of those proficiently enough to make amazing artwork and your portfolio looks good, maybe you need to take an art test. If that all passes, you're in. You'll go for an on-site interview. They'll check to make sure that you're not crazy. Every studio does that, of course. This piece here is, I'm gonna have to do something about this. I'm gonna just split it up. But hopefully that answers your question. Let me know if it doesn't. I can try and answer it better. I'm almost certain I'm going to get a smoothing issue or a baking issue in there. It's just really inset piece. Brave, did that answer your question okay? Brave got his answer. He's gone. How does separating the soft and the hard edges help with making the low poly? So if you look at, I'll be able to show you here in a minute, but essentially that's where all the UV breaks are going to happen. So I'm doing this for the baking process, but I'm also setting up for UVs. So right now, technically, even though I'm not looking at the UV set, I'm actually unwrapping this mesh. You know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? So as long as all these hard edges are where I would like them, the bake will look good. And I'll be able to unwrap it really easily. That edge looks particularly thick. When you see a thick edge in Modo, that usually means there's two edges there. Aha! Do you see this? That edge is one-sided, somehow. Something is amiss. Okay, I've deleted that edge, and then I delete that edge, and holy. Okay. There's like a face there. Alright, I selected it, deleted the face, in the cap, rebuild. We can rebuild him. We can make him stronger. Okay, fixed. Let's see what this needs to be Yeah, you can kind of accomplish two things with one action, or one operation. Again, I'm seeing details that don't need to be here. Just gonna kind of cut those out. We're getting there. Oops. things can be. Man, I will be surprised that there's not an issue with this mesh when I bake it the first time. That's another thing you kind of have to get used to. It's the nature of things sometimes. What is going on there? These polys are being weird. Whoa, rotations. Oh wait, I know why those are there. Because there's an overhang here. A slight overhang. Later, face melt. I'll keep that broken there. And I'll break this one. Alright, let's see where we're at. Some weird edges in there. This doesn't continue. Bottom is okay. This is not okay. It's fine. That's all the way around. I'll leave that. Yeah, that's. We'll break it here. Boom, boom. Test. Oh, Matthew's in here. Hey, buddy. Dude, look at this program I'm using. Just like tells me everything. Who's joining, who's leaving. Gives me the list on the side of who's around. It's great. I want to keep those. I feel like I'm going to be doing some vertex painting. Yeah, Chatty's awesome, man. I'm really impressed with it. Stalker. It's called Chatty. It's pretty cool because you can actually follow multiple channels and then like they become tabs, live tabs of chat. Quilly Willy. Hello. Savior of the day. Oh yeah. I think I'm gonna make these all soft. Papaya. Hey. Hey. Let me get this up here. Fortnite. I want to play that game. Seems cool. Oh, we've got to be getting close to done with this. Alright. I'm actually going to take that and move that. How you doing, Ben? sure this back area is good. We can fully move on to the front. No, it is not good. Whoa, wait, what is that edge? There we go. Wow, this is probably one of the most tedious ones I've ever done. Make sure to focus on the back here. That area needs to be looked at. Top is okay. Bottom is okay. It's already 9:10. Shit. Almost done with this. You guys are really quiet. Visceral, what's going on? How you doing? How is life? Is life amazing? Hope it's amazing. Usually when I do the unwrap on this, yeah, it's either chat's like, or it's just completely dead. Usually when I unwrap this is when I'll find issues that I had missed. Whoops. Hostile G-Force, thanks for the host. The auto host. How do I split this one up? Just right up this. Okay, vert almost doesn't need to be there. Oh, so very close now. Joe Pie's doing some Z-Rush. Matt's got some Gwent going on. Oh wait, how is Gwent? Nope, you're not playing Gwent. Hearthstone, huh? Hearthstone's pretty good. Okay, we should be closing in on the finish line. As far as I can tell. I'm sure I'm missing something See, every now and then you see an edge that you missed. See, this area is getting weird. What's going on here? Make this edge hard, these ones soft. We'll break that there. Oh man, come on, no more surprises. Pretty please. Okay, let's run it on this and see what happens. I'm gonna split there. And do this. Split there. Oh, there we go. Uh-huh. Oh, yes. Clean, 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 clean. Aha. Found another one. Okay, let's run an unwrap on this and find out where there's some other problems. Go to list, UV, texture. Now we select all those edges, and then we just run a unwrap tools click. Okay, what is this? All right, when we straighten these, orientate. This is usually when we'll see problems, like this one. Where is this? This edge right there needs to be broken. Select all. Unwrap tool. Orientate. Whoa. Where's this? Aha. Just break that. Let's do this. Tear. This one. Break. Torn. Where else do we look in here? One's okay. What's happening here? Ah, okay. Okay, let's do another orientate. And we'll do a where's it? Layout, no. UVs. Normalize. Scale. So now all these UV islands should actually have the same pixel density. This is a texel density tool. Super worth downloading. Hey Pontus, how you doing? TWL. Okay, let's run a pack and no stretching. Let's see how this looks. That's not bad for our first pack. That is a issue. Where is that? Wait, how is that connected? I think we have some rogue action going on here. Right there. Got you. Got you. Do another pack. That is a weird piece right there. Let's save this. Okay, let's see what happens. we'll just, we need to go into ZBrush. Got our merged. Let's export this out. Stair slide high poly. See how long this takes to export. That's not iPacket. No, that is just Modo Auto Packer. Hey, dude, man, how you doing? Yeah, I already have a smart material for this, so we will look at. I haven't ran it on a shape that's this complex, like all the little details and stuff on it. So I'm curious as to how like the moss and stuff will interact with it. I will get you later. Updated Substance Painter. So let's do new. We need to export selected. I want to know why Substance Painter does not accept FBX files. I'm not expecting this to work. It might be close, but I'm expecting stretching. Okay, so here's our low poly. Go here, pull this up so you can see it. Big textures, pick our high poly. We'll say none, we'll just do a normal and see how that goes. 1024, hit bake. Last time I tried, it was not accepting FBX, which is super annoying. I don't know why. Like, it doesn't see them, but I don't know. I'll check after this bake. You guys are importing FBX files into Substance Painter? That's awesome if that's the case. Designer takes FBX. Let me have this finished and I'll just check. It had problems with 2016. That might be the problem. And that might be why I need to update my Substance Painter as well. We'll see. Dude, it's loading like an 8.8 million poly, high poly into the... So other than the resolution issues here, it doesn't look all that bad. I'm actually surprised. Let me see. Configuration, import. It's seeing FBXs. Maybe I should just try it. It probably takes it now. The update that I haven't grabbed is the most recent one, so it's like within the last couple days, I think, or within the last week. Yeah, that bake looks pretty good other than the resolution issues going on here in this area. There's some resolution issues in here too. You see that? So one thing you can do is we could artificially scale those up since they're such a prominent part of the asset. So in that case, you just go in here, find those areas, right? Then if you're in here and you double click, you'll only highlight those. So then we'll just scale those up slightly, let's say by, let's make it 150% of its original. And then we'll just repack. So those now should have more textile density than the rest of the object. We'll export selected, and I will do a FBX 2015. And we'll try that. And then I will go in, I will replace it. Import failed, hang on. See, when you start a new scene, is that it? Let's see what happens. Okay, yeah, FBX works now. It was the version before the one that I recently updated to then. So, cool. Thanks for re-steering my mind, guys. You're the best. Let's bake these textures again. So we're gonna bake it with the density changed in that area. The high poly. We'll do all of it this time, I think. We don't need ID. We don't need thickness. Ah, what is happening? That looks glorious. Hang on here. Big finish, guys. Look at that. Looks good, right? Yeah. That's what was going on. Okay, hang on. This is what the problem was. So FBX exporter. Don't need to export materials. Well, export that. It was changing the scale. I probably don't need presets on. Yeah, I probably need to turn the anti-aliasing on the bake as well. Because did you see it changed the scale of the object? So everything was fucked. Export selected, FBX. Let's try it again. Ship it. See what happens. If it's screwed still, I'm gonna need to look into it later. I need to find out why the scale is such an issue. Yeah, it's still having scale issues. So the FBX for some reason is bringing in the mesh at a different size. So we need to change that back to just OBJ. I'm sure it's like right in front of my face too. It's probably just like I need to uncheck a thing that says, oh, you posted a whip. Yeah, we'll bring that up in 15 minutes. Oh, right. And when you make it doesn't like switching from FBX to OBJ or vice versa. I put the anti-aliasing 2x on there as well. We'll see how that looks. Give me that AO. Come on. I'm gonna sneak peek at Reed's thing. Where you at? Where you at? Okay. So this looks much better. There's still some resolution stuff going on, but we'll ignore that for now. Yeah, if you see in here, there's some weird, there's some bake issues in here in this little sliver of space. Too much coffee. Welcome back. All right, let's drag on my. Man, I really need that new shelf. It's so much better. That mud is a little strong. I noticed I've started lowering it. Where you at here? That doesn't look too bad. Kind of don't want... Man, the resolution in there is really low. Might have to scale that up too. Oh, and I'm getting some weird issues here. Overall, though, it looks... I mean, let's export these out and see what it looks like in Unwrap. Actually, before we do that, in the moss, I think I want to add a paint layer and just kind of paint out some of the, a little bit of this stuff, get it out of the crack there. That's good enough for me. Just kind of don't want it too evenly distributed along those details. There is not a video of me making that material, but it's a smart material. So basically, if we look at it from the ground up, it's basically, I built this mortar, I dragged this mortar material out from the materials that already exist. So mortar wall, drag that in here, scaled it to what I thought looked right. I actually need to go in and modify this a bit as well. There's a height, those details there, kind of want to subdue those a bit. Maybe tile it a little less as well. Yeah. Then I added an edge pass, which I'm doing with just a mask, right? So you get this. That gives me the highlights along the edges. Then I add a moss pass, which is just a green channel with the albedo stuff in it. Albedo stuff. You like that? It's just got a little bit of noise in the green. And then I just used the ambient occlusion to put the moss in the little crevices and stuff like that. And then we added mud. And mud is just using a color value that's kind of like darker. The roughness is a little bit sharper on there so that it's a little wet looking. And then we used a directional mask using the position map that I baked out. What's up, Rocco? Do I like Kid Cudi? Yeah. All right. All those are layered together. Then I put it in a folder, called it Temple Mossy Stone. Right click, And where is it at? Create smart material. Once that is clicked, Temple Mossy Stone shows up in the smart materials list if I type in Temple Mossy Stone. That's all you have to do. And it's made. So you just make it once. Get it to look how you want it. Put it in a folder. Name the folder what you want the smart material to be called, and then save it out. Then after that, as long as all the maps that you need exist on this right side, you just drag it on and it'll look for the maps, attach them all, and then run the same pass on everything. Then you just adjust accordingly afterwards. This is a temporary material too, by the way. I kind of want to like really take it really far. Okay, export textures. We're gonna export it Unreal in mind. And we're gonna export it where? Export in the stairs. Export. Oh, wait a minute. It's PNGs. We don't want PNG. Control-Shift-E to export everything, or to export textures. Yep. Export, open folder. I need to set this up so that the naming conventions match what I want. Okay, got the textures. Go in here. There. Let's just call it stair part 1. We go to, oh, my brain. Unreal. Stairs, open a new window. I'll grab all those. Oh, hang on here. And the mesh. No, smoothing group information. The French toast, what? Save smoothing groups. There we go, fixed. Check this out. That's why it was messed up in Substance. You're correct, sir. Okay, we got the textures, so we just need to import those. Whoa. There's morph information in here? That's hilarious. Wait, what? Hang on. That's hilarious. Back again? What are you doing? What are you even doing, Ben? There we go. Cool. All right, let's look at your guys' stuff. Oh, whoops. Okay, save this. Okay, let's see what we got here. So first of all, we have these blades, which are really cool. I will say that there seems to be some extra, is there a slight curve to this? Should have some extra loops that these edges here might not need to be there. They might be able to connect this way and this way. Thanks, Dazzo. Where do we post that? Visceral, in here, if you go to the Discord, there is a work in progress section, and in that section you can just kind of post whatever you're working on. And nice. You don't even have to download Discord if you don't want. You can do browser based as well. Anyways, I go through the work in progress section just with the most recent stuff that's been dropped in there if there's a stream that day, and just talk about stuff. But yeah, so we're looking at this dagger. This dagger is being done by Comedy Inc. And you've got like some extra verts here that might not need to be there, but I'm not sure. And then these long triangles, you want to try and avoid those. These ones too might be a little rough. It's actually better to pay for an extra couple segments and pay for those extra verts just to connect triangles nicer. And then we got Reed looking at his scene, looking at his voxel-based lighting through his scene in CryEngine. Then, all right, looks like this is the updated angle. So this already is looking pretty nice. Let's see here. This looks really good. Pillars look way better. Looks like there's more depth in here. The edge here is broken up much more, which is nice. The marble pattern, you can see the veins in it. That's really good. The darkness down here feels really good now. Like there's actual color in the shadows. Let's see here. Oh, I didn't even notice this before. Yeah, comedy, if that curve is too subtle, then you would never notice. Like, you should just cut those verts out if you don't notice it. Or make the curve just a little bit more extreme. The camera angle is a bit better. Hang on here. We're getting the epic pin out now. This angle is better than what it was before. It's still really like dead on. Like, you're probably gonna hate this piece after you're done with it. That's usually what happens, is you work on something so hard and then you're just like, I'm tired. So you have this straight line, right? This thing here, and then you have 1, 2, 3. Powers of 3 are really good, but powers of 3 tend to look best if they're scaling. So like if it was, if this pillar was further back, so say you tilt the camera this way, and now the pillar's back here, and then this one's here, and then this one's now forward. Now you have this line going this direction instead of this one. That would be more, I don't even know, more interesting, I guess. It's more pleasing to the eye. That's probably the best way to say it. Everything though is looking great. I mean, this piece here, these guys feel flat. I would just add an extra loop here and pull it out a bit so that you get some like curve to these pieces here. Position wise, the stuff in the background is much more pleasing. Now that I see this line back here, of course you see it, right? But I think this is a perfect scenario for you to take the Coliseum, move it even further to the right, something like that, leave the tower where it's at, and then learn World Machine and build like some mountains stuff in the back, or at least some hills, and then maybe add one more building here. Yeah, overall though, like it's like super close to being done. This black down here is really harsh. Like that actually does not feel like a texture that's supposed to be in the scene. Have you checked the albedo values on like how black that is? Because the black might be too black, which would lead it to go outside of albedo PBR range, which immediately makes it pop out from the rest of the scene. Just double check that. Because right now it doesn't feel like it belongs in the PBR range. Let me see if there's anything else. Overall, it's looking super solid though. It's really good. Yeah, what is the focal point? Right now, I feel like it is the tower. There's not really... Was it Matt? Matt Johnson is totally right. Like, what is the focal point? Because right now... Right now, I'm looking here. I'm looking here. And I'm looking here. And here. And here. And then here. When I first look at the scene though, I end up looking at this spot. I don't know. I think it's because it's surrounded by this, and this. You know what I would do? This sounds crazy. I would completely... This sounds so... Okay. I'm just going to say it. And I'm not being rude or anything. Completely ditch this camera angle and come up with like 15 different camera angles. Just try different shots all over the place. Because maybe you're stuck in this shot because of what you were using as reference. Try like low, angled. Like try camera down here looking almost under the desk, like way low, like this is where the eye level would be, and you're looking up. Try from up high looking down. Try from over here looking out that way at this height. Just try a ton of angles. Put the camera on the table and look that way so that all these props are the focus. Maybe put the camera over here closer to the base of the pillar and then look down this way. It's scary because I bet there's nothing over here, right? In that case, you just use the props you already have and just kind of build some stuff out and you can hide it pretty easily. Put some trees so you can't see the distance, put a few buildings behind it and you'll just cover it all up. Now that I've drawn all over your stuff. But yeah, I would totally just come up with like 15 screenshots, drop them in the work in progress stuff, and just see how people respond to them. The spacing here is good now. The problem I have with it now is that the spacing is identical on both sides, which feels strange. It's like maybe take this tower and move it like just that much or something. Because they're, I don't know, it's because they're even. It feels weird. This looks good though, man. It's really like coming along. Bringing the sun up might help a bit. I think the sun is low because he wants the God rays. It's so funny because you could make the sun higher up here, and then you could take like a bush or a tree and put it way up here, completely out of the shot, and let that bush create your sun rays. You would never see it, but you would get the sun rays still. Is this helpful at all to you, Reeds? Let's see, make sure there's nothing else in here. Pillars, Jopi. All right, so pillars look pretty good. The normal bakes on them look really nice. The albedo looks completely outside of the range, like that green. Man, this is awesome. We're getting into some much more like complex, nitpicky things that come about. So you see the greens here feel very like almost glowing, like neon. That's because the saturation is too high on them. But yeah, I'm trying to, and then you got to think about like, is this aging kind of mossy stuff? Because the way that it's scattered on it right now doesn't feel very natural. It just kind of feels like it's sprayed on. Trying to see what else I can. The pillar on the far left currently, to me, feels the best. And it's because the center one is really contrasted, really light, and then the mossy green stuff on this right one, the green is too saturated. So the far left one is kind of the one that I want to go with. All right, Matt Johnson. Cheat it to win it. But yeah, Reeds, your stuff is really good, and then this stuff, Joe P. Yeah, Reeds, you're starting to hit the wall of like, can I just move on? Can I just stop now? Try just a bunch of camera angles. Don't worry about the props or anything. Combo the left and middle. So the middle one is too saturated or too light. It feels, I don't know, there's something weird about it. It doesn't feel right. The one on the left feels much more within range. I bet that white is too light for PBR range as well. Because like, let's see if I can. So if I go, no, that doesn't help me at all. If I go and I add a layer and I pick the color, okay, this window here, does this scale? No, it doesn't. Dynamic, no, we don't want that. No. Shit. Anyways, anything up below, so like below as the value goes down, right? 0.1. You see it's marked on here, 0.1. When you get under that 0.1 range, or what they would call, let me see if I can land this right. Anything below 127 or 126 in value is considered not PBR correct. Everything under here, under this line, this sounds so boring, but anything under the 127 line or 126 line, you can't actually find things that dark in reality. As far as their albedo goes. This is just rule. So PBR are physically based materials. These are like rules that dictate how materials look in the real world and how they react to lighting hit them, and how lighting hits that object's surface and refracts back into your eye. So anything under 127, try to steer away from. And then in the saturation range, it's kind of like the same range, like that width here. Like here, I'll just draw on it. So basically that and that, give or take inside of the thickness line. So you can kind of squish around a little bit in there with your ranges, but do not go in here if you're doing PBR materials, unless it's like neon lights. Those things go way outside of the PBR range, but they're not, they're lights. They're not, they're fluorescents. They're treated differently. But yeah, it's really weird. I guess I can make a quick example on here, and then I should probably go. Let me, where we at here? I'll close out of this. Okay, so I got this model, right? PVR checker in here. Anyways, there's, if I add a fill, make it black, this level of black only happens with metallic surfaces. Uh-oh, what are we looking at here? What is this? What is this blackness? So the blackness that I'm talking about is in direct sunlight. Yeah, natural materials are different, right? So this would technically be too dark. We'll get rid of the height. We'll just use the color. So this would be technically too dark for reality. Like even the true black color or value is sitting somewhere around this range. It's weird. It's really weird, but it's subtle. It's not like this is dark like a tire would be dark in daylight, right? Like tires are pretty dark, but they're perceived to your eye like this dark, but they're actually somewhere in that range. Anywho. Yeah, because materials that we've, Seller's right, materials that we've made now are like true darkness. Like they absorb all light, almost. It's like 99%. Anywho, okay, cool. I'm going to get out of here. Oh, block out. This is looking cool. It's feeling good. Yeah, I wouldn't go any further on detail with the block out stuff and just get all the pieces and make sure to think modularly. So like this set here, if you can make that and then hide the seam where it would meet the next piece behind the pillar, then you can just dupe it right down the way. Just keep and then you're good. And the pillars, if you want, you can make them separate so that way you can rotate them a bit so you can get different pattern shapes and all that stuff. This I would make separate. This I would make separate. This I would make its own thing. Maybe you take these pillars and apply them here. That way you're not making a bunch of stuff. But yeah, cool. It's looking good. I look forward to seeing more. Make sure there's nothing else in here. All right, cool. All right, guys. Dillachu, what's going on? You're here a little late. You can go to my YouTube to catch the VODs. If you have art to show, there's a work in progress on that Discord link I just dropped. We talk in general. We talk about games. Technical questions, I answer those. There's a lot of people in there that are answering questions and everyone's kind of helping each other out. So if you want to learn 3D, I would say that the little community we have going is pretty good. I have a couple devs in there as well. I think there's like maybe like seven of them are in there. Professionals that can help, that are interested in helping. Anywho, cool guys. You guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out. For the people that are late, this is what we did today. If you watch the VOD, you can see me bake that all out and get everything working. And that temporal AA is doing my head in. If your scenes don't feel sharp enough, change your temporal AA to FXAA or just none. And now everything is way sharper. You can see when you turn temporal AA on it. Where's that here? Softens everything because it's trying to get rid of the sharp pixels. Alright guys. I'll check you later. Have a good night. I'll see you guys later.